petitions have been slighted. Our remonstrances have produced additional violence and insult. Our supplications have been disregarded, and we have been spurned with contempt from the foot of the throne. In vain, after these things, may we indulge in the fond hope of peace and reconciliation. There is no longer any room for hope. If we wish to be free, if we mean to preserve inviolate those inestimable privileges for which we have been so long contending, if we mean not to basely abandon the noble struggle in which we have been so long engaged, and which we have pledged ourselves never to abandon until the glorious object of our contest shall have been obtained, we must fight. I repeat it, sir, we must fight. An appeal to arms and the God of hosts is all that is left us. They tell us, sir, we are weak, unable to cope with so formidable an adversary. But when shall we be stronger? Will it be the next week? The next year? Will it be when we are totally disarmed and a British guard shall be stationed at every house? Shall we gather strength through irresolution and inaction? Shall we gain the effectual means of resistance by lying supinely on our backs and hugging the delusive phantom of hope until our enemy shall have bound us hand and foot? Sir, we are not weak if we make proper use of those means which the God of nature have placed within our power. 3 millions of people armed in the holy cause of liberty, and in such a country as that which we possess, are invincible against any force our enemy can send against us. And besides, sir, we shall not fight our battles alone. There is a just God who presides over the destinies of nations and who will rise up, friends, to fight our battles for us. The battle is not to the strong alone, but to the vigilant, the active, the brave. And besides, sir, we have no election. If we were base enough to desire it, it is now too late to retire from the contest. There is no retreat, but in submission and slavery, our chains are forged, and their clanking may be heard upon the plains of Boston. The war is inevitable. And let it come. I repeat, sir, let it come. It is in vain, sir, to extenuate the matter. Gentlemen may cry, peace, peace. But there is no peace. The war has actually begun. The next gale that sweeps from the north will bring to our ears the clash of resounding arms. Our brethren are already in the field. Why stay we here idle? What is it that gentlemen wish? What would they have? Is life so dear and peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death.
Resounding arms. In less than a month after Henry's famous speech, the battle at Lexington and Concord would take place. A week later, Lord Dunmore would remove the powder from the arsenal at Williamsburg to keep it from the colonists. Patrick Henry did raise his militia, went on to become the governor of Virginia, and was one of the most effective supporters of General George Washington and the Continental Army. On October 17, 1781, after 6 years of fighting, Charles Lord Cornwallis, commander of the last British mobile force in America, surrendered his 8,000-man army to General George Washington at Yorktown, Virginia. Without the passion and courage inspired by one man against all odds, this victory may have never occurred. Perilous times call for men of vision and courage. Patrick Henry was such a man. Thank you. And now, if anybody has any questions for Mr. Henry, he would entertain some questions.
Well, thank you very much.
How many times did you serve as governor of Virginia?
Total of 5 times.
Were you always close to George Washington and his police?
George Washington and I were very close before and during the Revolution. We were from the same state. And after the Revolution, we continued in our friendship up until the Constitutional Convention. And George Washington presided over and was one of the greatest advocates for that document. I vehemently opposed it. And although we remained friends, it did chill our relationship.
Did you know Benjamin Franklin at your time?
Dr. Franklin, I did know, and considered him to be one of the wisest people that I have ever met.
Jerry, why did he oppose the Articles?
I did not, sir, oppose the Articles of Confederation. I opposed the Constitution.
On what ground?
The grounds several grounds. First off is the delegates that were sent to Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, were sent there to revise the Articles, not to discard them and have a wholesale change of government. What that convention did is it created a strong national government without sufficient safeguards to the people and the states. It created an executive office that could only become tyrannical, issuing executive decrees and things of that nature. And it created a Supreme Court that could usurp the rights of the state courts, the states, and the people themselves. For that reason, I opposed it. Subsequently, it was amended with 10 amendments that protected the people and the states to a greater degree, but I felt that even that fell short. I resolved to live peaceably under it, but never got over my apprehensions of it. Any other questions? I thank you very much for your attention.